love when I know it really wasn't. Bet the house on it if it's cheaper by the dozen. Money over bitches, got that shit from my cousin. Looking to the skies and the heaven up above us. Cops in the rear view, Glocks gotta tuck it. Close my eyes, make a more shot of bucket. Can't wait to be king one day, but fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. They said we never last 2 decades. Long as my whip stay clean and my rent.
All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Target Talk. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Justin. I got Mike.
What up?
And we have a very special guest in the studio today, Amaelyah Woodley.
Yay.
CEO of Ethos Creatives. How are you doing today?
I am good. I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing
Yeah,
very well.
can't complain.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much for coming in,
Yeah.
sitting down, talking with us.
I'm excited. This is like one of my favorite podcasts out here right now. I'm a big fan. I came across my feed like 2 months ago, I think, and I like followed it. And when y'all followed me back, I sent it to him and I was like, they followed me back. So I'm excited to be here.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Well, yeah, thank you. We definitely appreciate that for sure. We have some questions for you, some good ones. But first, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little about yourself and about Ethos?
I'm originally from Houston. I grew up in Flower Mound. When I grew up in Flower Mound, I was in band, dance, and all those kind of things. But I didn't know I was a creative until I was in college. So I went to Texas Women's University, and I studied fashion merchandising and marketing. I did my first fashion show, and everyone came up to me and was like, have you thought about like producing and things like that? So that's kind of how I got into creative directing.
Okay.
So from there, after I did fashion shows, I went into visuals because when I had graduated, I moved to Dallas. When you move from Denton to Dallas, it's like completely different. Or when you move your business from Denton to Dallas, it's completely different. So I didn't know any fashion people down there. So I was like, I'm just going to make visuals or something like that. So I started making fashion visuals of myself, like in my outfits and things like that. And then 2 or 3 artists were like, we really like these. Do you want to do music videos? And one of them happened to be at the time Spike Chester. Someone was filming for him and brought me on. Doing that one video, I was like, oh, I think I'm like into like the music stuff. And then from there, I started creative directing like visuals for just artists out here and just doing different music videos and things like that. I had taken a break after COVID. That's when it kind of went downhill for like everyone.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like, let me just focus on my degree. And I think that's when I first went into corporate America and I started working as a marketing director. So I was at the top, like, and I had learned all this stuff in marketing. Like, I don't even know how I got that job. I was working as a marketing director for a biotech company. And I just remember like collecting all this information and I was working with an artist at the time and I just used it for them. And I was like, wait a minute, like, why not do the content part and the digital marketing part and put those 2 things together? So I started Ethos. And so with Ethos, I wanted to create a company that was the artist development / brand development side. So basically the middle between the product and the audience. A lot of times artists, they come to me and they say, I don't know where to start. Like, I don't know. I have these songs and this is my vision, but I don't know the starting point. And so I created a company that has these different resources, but also develops you at the same time personally to where you know how to start and you're able to sustain that. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So stay consistent in that. Right. So basically I wanted to create kind of like the missing piece between those 2 things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
I feel like I was like ranting, but I'm relaxed now, so we're good. Okay.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. Once you ease into it,
I'm like, okay, we're good.
The more you go, for sure. Well, that sounds awesome. Yeah. When did you officially create the company?
So I started Ethos. It was unofficial in like 2022, but it became official in 2023. Okay. And it's so crazy because like Ethos wasn't something that I was like, I'm going to create a company. I was working with Kay White at the time. And I was like, I can't do this all on my own, so I need a team. So I developed this like small formula where I had like my DP, it was me, then I had my like manager, then I had created this like small little ecosystem for her. And then I was like, when she decided to move, I was like, this could be a company. Like I can make it to where every time an artist comes in, they just get this team. So it was unofficial for about a year. And then in 2023, that's when I got the LLC and that was it. And then I signed Billy.
Well, that can be our next question. So you signed Billy, you signed DJ DD. How do you know when an artist is the right fit?
I love that question. I love that question because when people ask me, so before I started working with Billy, I was actually working with 2 other artists, or I was inquiring. And I know it's gonna sound so like basic and plain, but it's really a gut feeling, like for me. And I just remember like it was with these 2 artists, I was like, something's off. And I think it's the will of the artist. I think that's what it is. It's like they have this will, right? So I remember Billy, he was Spike at the time, and he came to me and he was like, I want to do a music video for an album he had done. He had dropped a year prior, and it had been a very long time before he had dropped. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And like when you're not nervous to tell artists what they need to hear, you know it's like the right fit. So I said to him, I said, why? Like, what's the point? And he was like, yeah, you're right. Like, and we just started going from there. And then from there, like, he just had this like will and this like, I want to do more. I want to try more. I want to explore. And when I meet artists like that, I'm like, yeah, like, because it's not easy doing this, right? When you're doing something like this, when you're going through a development stage, it's not just developing your content and it's not just changing your name. It's not just a new style. Like you're personally developing yourself. Mm-hmm. So you have a mirror a lot of the time throughout the process. And artists have to go through that because you have to go through so many uncomfortable stages, you know, dropping new music, being okay with not being validated right away, being consistent all the time, right? Losing money, you know, things like that. And so when you have an artist that's like, all right, cool, what's the next thing? That's when I'm like, yeah, you're it. Let's do it. Like, it's just that willingness, basically. So, yeah.
We can definitely relate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it is, I guess it's in content creation in general,
Yeah.
but especially with podcasts and like, we speak on consistency like every
Oh,
day, every time
all,
we
all
talk.
the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Consistency is key, and that's if anybody ever asks us like, what is your if anybody's interested in starting a podcast, they're
Right.
like, hey, what's the biggest thing?
Yeah.
Consistency.
Just stay consistent. And sometimes it's not even as blank as being like, stay consistent. It's like, it's going to be hard to be consistent. So we have to be very honest about that. And there's going to be days where you don't want to be consistent and you're human, but consistency is the answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so, yeah, it's not easy, but it's rewarding for sure.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and I think one thing that we see, and then I'm sure that you've seen as well, is it doesn't happen overnight. It's never going to happen overnight.
I know a lot
let's
of
talk about it. I'm like, okay, one thing that Ethos, I love to call it, and that's why there's the color orange and all these things. It's a slow burn. Mm-hmm. It's a slow burn, y'all. And to bring up Billy again, like, I remember saying to him, we're going to drop this song. Are you okay with no one listening to it? Are you okay with that? When we drop this song, no one will probably fuck with it, to be honest with you. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And it's a great song, but let's just pretend like no one's gonna, are you okay with that? Are you gonna be willing to drop a song again? He was like, yeah. I'm like, okay. It's a slow burn. But if you think about time, like I swear it was 2020, like yesterday. Yeah. So time really does move very fast at the end of the day. So I don't even know why people think about time. I don't know why people think about, I want this to happen right now. I'm like, just keep going because every day is a different reward. Every day is different. Where we were a year ago is completely different from where we are today. We're celebrating right now. Does that make sense? So, yeah.
Once again, same boat. Same boat for sure. Yeah, we've been doing this for like a couple years, but we took a long break, and a little over a year ago now, we came back. So, and that's the one thing, like, we wanted to drill into our head is, listen, it's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
Stay consistent. You know, the views, like, that's one thing that I personally had a hard time with, because, like, I had to drill it in my head, like, hey, man, why is nobody watching this? But once again, you know, I'm more focused on just putting out the best content we can, and it'll grow.
It will grow.
If you put out good content, it's gonna come eventually.
Yeah.
And if you're intentional with that content as well, because, you know, you always want to, when I put things out, you always want to stick to the rib, right? So there's a difference between, like, cool content and, like, intentional content, right? So when you're putting out that intentional content, you get people like me who go, I'm a fan, dog. Like, I love what y'all put out, because you're attracting your audience, which is me, right? So, yeah.
And same on our end, like, just looking at the Ethos Instagram, you can tell, like, everything posted is intentional.
It's intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not posting trends or nothing just to be trendy or anything.
Right.
Like, you have a clear vision, and you can see.
And that's what we
throughout.
want for our artists too. We want our artists to remain independent. We want them to be okay with being niche. It's okay, like, to be niche. You don't have to always go for the mainstream. And if you want to do that, cool. But I'm trying to show that I have a specific audience I want to attract, and I'm going to attract those people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure. One thing about your Instagram, I will say, I love the color orange. Orange is my favorite color. So seeing that, I was like, okay.
You're already attracted
I
to
was like, all right. It caught my attention, you know. So so that's really cool. I guess the next question we can ask, Ethos puts a lot of emphasis on giving artists creative freedom. What does that look like when you're working with someone?
So, that's a deep question. Hold on, let me think about it for a second. Creative freedom, because it's really, to me, I'm always like, I just kind of let them do what they do, but it's I know it's a little bit different. We put an emphasis on creative freedom, I think, so I built Ethos kind of on a mental health psychology kind of formula, if that makes sense. I didn't think of it in a business manner. So I always said safe space. I want to create a safe space. Artists don't have that sometimes out here. So let me create that. And I believe that creative freedom is that. I think when they come in and they feel that, okay, I have this team that's here for me. Okay, I can outwardly say what I'm exactly thinking. I think artists sometimes, behind the scenes people, we can almost give them imposter syndrome, and we can almost treat them like we're smarter than them or we know more because we are logical human beings and we know all the techie things and things like that. But when you come into Ethos, it's what's your vision? That's the first thing I ask you. What do you see yourself a year from now? Okay, great. We're going to get you there. Like, and now you're, okay, I'm going to tell you all my ideas. Now you're so comfortable that you're like, okay, well, I want to do this. 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 And that's when I come in and I say, okay, this is what we can do. This is what we can't do. This is, that's when we get to the technicalities. But from a business standpoint, the creative autonomy is, at the end of the day, to me, an independent artist is the creative director too. It's their vision. All I'm supposed to do is make it better, maybe 10%. That's it. And make it make sense and give you a strategy and get you to where you need to where you want to be. That's my job. My job is not to change you in any type of way. My job is not to look on the internet and say, well, so-and-so is doing it this way, so you need to do it that way. My job is to look at you and say, you're great. So how can I show people that? I always think of it as taking the dirt off of a diamond. That's all I'm doing. And then here you guys go. That's it. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the creative freedom. I hope I answered that.
Yeah.
No, it was good.
You definitely
That was good.
So, awesome.
No, we like in-depth answers like that. That's why we ask deep questions.
Yay. Awesome. I like that you asked me. I'm always, you see those podcasts where they're so why did you pick the color orange for your business? And you're just like, bro, you asked me something like that.
Right.
So yeah, awesome.
Good thing I didn't ask that.
Were you gonna ask me that?
No.
No, if you were.
Well,
Let me erase that question.
No,
off
if
the-
you were. No, listen, Amelia talks too funny. My boyfriend's like, bitch. Okay, listen. you were,
cut the
no,
orange
listen. It's okay. Keep this in because this is this is me.
funny.
Cut the
This
orange
is me.
question,
This is
man.
who I am.
Yeah.
No, it's
Nah,
keep it in.
we weren't gonna ask that.
No, because I'm the type of person that like I get so comfortable, and this is why like I don't do interviews, but I get so comfortable that like I say what I think, so it's okay.
Well, we love that we can provide that.
Yeah, I'm so comfortable. Like this is great. So I'm just like I just kind of want to kick it and just talk, like you know.
Hey,
so.
listen, that's what we're here for.
Okay, awesome.
I mean, is there a reason why you picked orange? I mean,
There is.
Okay.
There is. There actually
slow
is.
burn,
Yeah.
right?
It's the slow burn.
yeah.
But also, like, this is gonna sound so nerdy. So, I am a documentary like queen. Like, I love me a good documentary, and I don't know what, like, I don't know what movie it was or if it was a documentary. But one day, I was in my bed, and I literally like woke up, and I literally envisioned the sun, and I was like, why did I envision the sun? And like I just said orange, like it's just so vibrant, it's so refreshing, it's like it catches your eye, it just looks strong. Like that's just what I thought. And then I was like, let's just do orange. And so I made it this like deep orange red. And I remember someone saw it and they were like, I stared at it for like 10 minutes. I was literally like, because I had put it on my story and I put music behind it and I wanted to see what people thought. And I had just put that color and people were like, yo, like I'm just captivated by it. And I feel like it represents like my artist too. Like I'm trying to kind of like captivate, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite? What's your like favorite documentary genre? Like
Crime for
crime?
sure.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
yeah.
I love me a good. And then he walked into the bedroom and then he shot her and it was crazy. Like I love a good crime documentary for sure.
Okay. Yeah. True crime is very interesting.
True crime. I can watch it all day. Like all day.
You don't have like nightmares or nothing because I can't.
No.
I can't do that.
There was one that was creepy. I think it was it the dude in the tree? The tree house. How to rob a bank. That was creepy.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that was a creepy one.
Okay,
Yeah. But
that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up watching those crime shows.
love it.
It's very interesting.
What's y'all's favorite streaming platform for like documentaries?
I don't know. They got some good ones.
Probably Netflix.
Netflix,
Yeah.
probably.
Netflix.
You
Yeah,
got-
Netflix is good.
What's
Netflix is great.
Hulu has some, don't they?
Hulu has the most. You would think it's like watching Adult Swim. Like when you watch it, you're like, how did this get approved for TV? Like how? That's Hulu. Like I feel like Hulu is the after dark sometimes. I feel like it's worse than HBO Max sometimes.
Yeah,
Like Hulu is the. They go there.
HBO got some good ones too.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
for sure. What's one of the most exciting projects that you've worked on so far?
So far. I mean, I'm not even being biased. It truly is this Billy White rebrand. I'm sorry. It really, really is. It's like my favorite. It's probably been one of my favorite things I've ever done. And it's not, people will obviously say their client, but I have a specific reason. Like, I've worked with a lot of people. And through this process, I've fully been allowed to be like a full creative in this process. I have been trusted, like, and I've learned so much through this process. Like, it's insane, like, the growth that I've had during this project. I mean, as everyone knows, like, Billy, we're together. So I had to learn how to be objective and also be in a relationship all at the same time. And what a lot of people don't know, we had gotten together probably a month before he was like, I actually want to work with you too. And we had to go through a process of learning each other and building my business. So it's just an amazing process. And the creativity and the vulnerability that we were able to show people, I have always wanted to do that. Like I've always wanted to show people like it is okay to tell people like how you really feel. Like it's okay to show people yourself. You are a star. Like you were created like in your own way. Does that make sense? Like you don't have to be anything else. And I think that out here in Dallas, like that's what I just want to speak life into these artists. Like you're the bomb. Like you can be you, and people stick to that. And I think the result that we had, where we would have like these, his audience, like I don't like calling people a fan, but like his audience and people who support his music, they say things like, bro, like I love your vulnerability, or I agree with you, or like, wow, I didn't even know that about you. You know what I mean? And I just loved seeing that process. Like it was just it's rewarding, and we're still in the process. Like he's only a year in. We have way more to go, but you know, it was cool. Like this whole first year it was cool. It was really awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, from what we've heard of Billy, I mean, it's good music.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that me and Mike like a lot is like the lyrics, the being lyrical, and that's kind of what we gathered. And it's really good stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It was something that, you know, when he was Spike Chester, we love Spike Chester. If you're a Spike Chester fan, love he was R&B, and it was really good music. And I just knew him. We worked together actually like 5 years ago, when he had done Milk and Honey and stuff. So, but so we had spent a lot of time together as friends. So I had known him a little bit personally, and I remember thinking like, these are different from like the person I'm seeing, but you know, we always, you know, it's art. And then we had listened to an album that he created when he was like 21, and he had just came out of college, and I think it's called I'm sorry, babe. What is it called again? I know what it's called. Good Morning, Say Your Prayers. I was gonna say something completely different. I didn't want to say that, but Good Morning, Say Your Prayers. I apologize. And it was his first album he created, and I was like, he was rapping his ass off on it, and I was like, why don't you talk about this stuff? And of course, that's hard for artists. It's like, well, you know, people don't want to hear that, and I want to, you know, people really like this, but this is actually what I want to make. And the day, it was so crazy. The day he had showed me like these files of songs, like we were driving around the colony, and he was just showing me file after file after file after file of all these songs he created over the years. And we were in Target, and I saw his name was Billy, and I said, yeah, you're like, you got to be you. Like, this is it. This is, I promise, like, this is what you need to put out. Trust yourself. And he put out Lady Luck, and that was it. And it's like been crazy ever since for him. So,
Which I will say, by the way, I meant to say this in the beginning.
sorry.
The song that we played was "Lady Luck" by Billy White. So y'all definitely check it out. I meant to do that in the beginning. Got to give him, you know,
No worries.
props.
No worries.
And Billy is here. He's behind the camera.
Yes, if you see me looking over.
Shout out Billy.
Okay.
Billy, I know you're off the mic, but do you notice a difference in your creativity since you've taken this direction?
Nah, 100%. It's like what she said, like that creative autonomy, it really gives you the freedom to express.
Yeah.
Right? And express in any kind of way you feel comfortable. Right? So I'll make the music, and then like she'll be like, well, what ideas do you have for the video? And then I'll say that, and she'll be like, oh, let's do this. So it's like you kind of understand, like you can trust Ethos with what you have going. So she's like, don't worry about it. You can focus on the music. So a lot of artists don't have that. A lot of times we're juggling like 10 different, we got to do this, but having something like that, it allows you to grow in your creativity and in your music making. And that's what I've experienced like from in this past year. The music I made, you know, entering the partnership versus like what I'm making a year in, like
Yeah.
it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely credit to me being allowed to be comfortable enough to show that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what's up. You're giving your artists a safe space.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
As a creative, who would you say your influences are?
Right now,
I mean,
because I got some right now.
right now, now and of all time, I guess.
Yeah.
So all time. Okay. Because it's like, if you know me, you know, and I can't justify it, but I don't care. Kanye West is.
Oh, they know.
Oh, no,
No, listen. And so 2016, Kanye West, right? And I liked Kanye West before that, but for some reason that year, when I saw him evolve in fashion, he was saying what he wanted to say. He was making music that just like, I was like, this is amazing. Like, it was just, he had me after that. And I feel like he is just himself and it just works. I'm like, he's himself. Look at where he's at. He's being himself.
Yeah.
And so I just admire that so much. I think right now, who I'm influenced by, what did you say? Like, what was it? Inspired by?
Inspired by.
Inspired by?
Yeah. Influence. Yeah.
Influence, inspired. So, Naomi Sharon.
Okay.
Love her. She's signed by OVO. Love her. Her vulnerability. Her latest project, Obsidian. She's just so like herself. Like I enjoy creatives that are just like, I'm here, I'm me. But her explanation of love and like how she looks at just like emotions, beautiful. Raven Lene, same thing. Raven Lene created an album just recently where she just talked about like the transition between falling out of love and then falling in love with yourself and then falling in love again. I have so many. Tyler for sure. Like Tyler the Creator, absolutely. Like his evolution and just like who he's become. Kendrick Lamar, not even, and I'll be honest, my like for Kendrick Lamar was probably like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. I know that's like taboo, but it really was. I enjoyed Kendrick Lamar, but let me actually understand him didn't really happen until Mr. Around the Big Steppers. I almost said Mother I Sober, but Mr. Around the Big Steppers. And I think it's because the type of person I am, I like the truth. I like to hear like the secrets and I like to hear like what you really think. So I think he really got me with that album and then it made me go back to everything else.
Okay.
So I would say like those 4 right now are really influential to like what I've been doing recently.
I'm catching a sense of vulnerability. I feel like that's what that's what you're into.
Yeah,
it makes sense. I mean, you want your artists to be vulnerable. That's what makes the best art. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. I feel like that type of the vulnerability is kind of, I don't want to say it's in, but I think more people are starting to appreciate that more.
Right.
And that they want to hear their artists and how they're feeling and all that.
And I think that genuinely started 2021. I think after COVID, people had been inside for so long and had a mirror to themselves for so long. And people realized like, oh, like this is my life right now. That I think anybody who was making music that was just so like, yeah, we outside, it was just going in one ear and out the other for a lot of people. Cause it's like, that is not happening right now. Like we're in hell. Like, what are you, And so I think when people started to open up, it was like, okay, I'm not the only person. I'm not, by myself in this.
Have you listened to Tyler's new album?
Of course I have.
It was a good one. It was
been on
good.
repeat for me since Monday.
Yeah.
Listen, I listened to it right away. That's a beautiful album.
Yeah.
That's a great album.
It really is.
Do you think it's his best?
I can't put it as best, but I think top 3 at least for me.
I think so too. I don't think it's his best, but it's so good. I do think that it's his first time being truthful and vulnerable. Yeah. So I do think it's a great like start. Yeah. But I feel like when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, he could give us more for sure. But this is a like good job for this. You know what I mean? So.
I think Igor is my favorite, and I think that's a pretty vulnerable album.
I think so too. I just think that Tyler has a tendency to me, right, where he talks deep but like surface at the same time. Yeah. Right? Like he'll tell you one specific like Call Me When You Get Lost was like one specific topic, right? The entire time. Yeah. But I think this Chromacopia is like every song is a different part of him. Yeah. It's a different story. And I think with his other projects, it was like, we're going to talk about this the entire time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I'm like, it was deep, but I'm like, you talked about one thing. But this, you're like, oh, you went there.
It's life. You
went there.
Life all together.
Right.
So you have an event coming up. We'll talk about that. The E for Ethos, right? November 10th. What can we expect from that?
You can expect food trucks, drinks, and live performances from DJ DD, Billy White. We're going to have Breon there as a special guest and DJ Saucy D. So that's going to be really, really cool. We're gonna have, you know, a PowerPoint up for, you know, anybody who wants to get to know Ethos. So I know I've heard a lot where people are like, I don't know exactly what it is, and so I'm like, okay, great, come to the event, and I'll give you the spiel. But it's just really just to introduce ourselves. You know, we're not expecting a lot. We just want to, you know, solidify ourselves and introduce ourselves to people like you guys, and just let people know we're here. We're here for them in any way, and we also just want to create an environment where like people can come and they're just like, wow, this was just cool. Like, this was fun. I didn't have to think too hard when I came in here. I just had some food, listened to some music, and, you know, vibes. So, yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I need to show you that Breon project that just dropped.
Hard.
It's hard.
Okay.
It dropped this
Hard.
week. It's fine. I need to show it to you. Where's the event going to be at?
So it's going to be at 1204 Griffin Street West. So it's actually like 9 minutes away from here.
Okay.
It's this little like warehouse type of vibe. And it has this back area. So we're trying to bring some LA Soho house vibes here. We're trying to create that kind of environment, trying something different, trying something new. So we definitely want people to come out and check it out. So it's a day party. So dress and impress, be cute, vibe out. So yeah,
You gotta pick our fits. We got
That's true. What time does it start?
2 to 6.
2 to 6.
Performances start at 3, 4, 3. We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Just get there at 2.
Just get there at
And
2.
just,
Yeah.
hey, so it is free. It is free RSVP before 4, and you get a free drink.
Okay.
After 4, that's $10.
Still not bad.
So-
Get here on time.
So Michael doesn't drink. Can I?
You can
You
for
got
sure
my
have his
drink.
ticket.
You
You
got
for
my
sure
drink.
have his ticket.
Hey, let's go.
Nice.
You know, as long as there's like some pineapple juice, you know.
Oh yeah, you gotta have some
Then I'm
PJs
turned
for
up.
Mike.
But no, we're definitely looking forward to the
Yeah, we're gonna pop out for sure.
I'm excited to have you guys for sure. Like, I'm excited just to meet anybody who's interested, and just to, you know, I had been in the community out here for a while at first, and then I disappeared or fell off the face of the earth like 2022. So I'm just excited to come back outside and see everybody. So
Why did you disappear off the earth in 2022?
oh,
I couldn't just.
You couldn't
skip
let me
past
slide
that.
that
Yeah.
no, for sure. No, it's cool. It's cool. I get it.
Where were you?
Nah. So, you know, like Dallas music's, I don't want to say scene. We're in industry. We're in industry, first of all. When I first came out here, I was 23. And I was green. I had no idea about, you know, music, anything, like conversations, how this goes. I was just like, I just want to create. And I think when you're that type of person in this type of space, you overshare, you overspeak, you get in a lot of situations and things like that. So for me, I was being exposed to like so many different things. And I think I got overstimulated for sure. I think I was like, I don't have an intention. I think I'm just here because it feels good to be here and there's attention. And I never want to move as I want attention. And I think that's how I was moving. Almost like clout chasing, if that makes sense. So I was like, I want to create cool stuff because I want people to know who I am so that I'm like cool in Dallas. And when you come home at night, that's not like a great feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no purpose in that to me. And I didn't feel like I was helping anybody. And I'm the type of person, I love to help people. I'm a very vulnerable person. So I knew that I wasn't being true to myself, and I felt like I was losing I felt like I was just like losing myself, if that makes sense. I was like, nah, I can't be around these people and say that I care about their music and things like that when I'm like trying to gain something out of this. I gotta like remove myself. So 2022, went back to church, learned about myself, personal development. And then I just was like, what do you want to do? Like, I try to run away from music, actually. It's so crazy. I try to do digital marketing for brands, and I was like, or not brands, I'm sorry, like med spas and stuff like that. And I was like, no, can't do this. But music's always spoken to me. And I was like, what's your intention? What do you want to do? And I was like, I want to help like as many artists as I can. And so I had to check myself first and in order to come back for sure.
So it seems like you kind of had a personal rebrand yourself.
Yes. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I feel like when you're in this type of space, you have to know yourself for sure. Because I've had to go through a lot of different situations that at 23, like, no, I'm not handling that well. But I'm 29 now. So I sit there and I'm like, okay, what's the best case scenario and the worst case scenario? Or what's this person's side, or what is this person saying to me? Or, okay, well, what do I want the result to be? It's a lot of, picking and choosing. And then it's also like, what's the purpose kind of thing. Does that make sense? Yeah. Sometimes I can lose my thought. But yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to be purposeful and intentional. And anybody I touched, I wanted it to always be a positive experience. And if I touch them in a positive experience, they're going to want to touch others. And I feel like that can change a lot out here, I feel like.
Definitely.
That's real. Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Positive vibes.
Sure.
Try my best. We try my best. I'm still human.
Of course.
Anybody who's watching this is like, hell nah. Hell nah. She just cussed me out 2 weeks ago. Fuck no. No, I'm still human. But just let you know. Yeah. But yeah.
Why is she capping in this interview?
Like, hell no.
I ain't never seen her positive my whole life. Like you said, we still human. We have our.
I heard you made people cry. No.
Definitely all have our moments,
No, for sure. We're human, at the end of the day. But I think when you know your purpose and your intention, people know it's love.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
What advice would you give for other creatives out there? Something you may have learned.
If you see yourself in a certain way in your head, it can become your reality for sure. So you guys are saying like, yeah, we want this podcast like to be what we want it to be. Then you stay consistent. I mean, like,
Right.
walk in how you see yourself. My mom always used to say, dress the part that you want to be. And so in my mind, when I would say I'm a CEO and I want to be a creative producer, so this is what I see myself that way, I'm going to move in that way. And you will literally see your reality change. It's crazy. When I told Billy, I was like, you're a star. Sounds corny, I know. But if you think it, you'll literally start to move that way and people will just start to see it. So I will say, like, basically believe in yourself.
Right.
It sounds easier said than done, but it's literally like, it's okay to be delusional. It's okay up here. As long as you have the knowledge, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be out here like putting out crazy music and look like that. But I'm saying, like, if you know your goal, no matter what people are saying around you, it's like, no, I'm a star. I'm a star. I see it. Like, you will literally see your reality change. Yeah. So.
Definitely. Is there any artists that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
That I want to work with, like, just in general?
In general, anyway.
That I haven't worked with? Honestly, like, whoever comes to me, I honestly don't have, I feel like I'm a student to music right now. So I don't feel like, for me, I'm like, whoever comes to me, it's kind of like that. Like, I feel like I'm just attracting right now. And I'm really into everything. If you look at my phone, I don't have a playlist. I haven't saved anything. I've just been literally listening to music as if it's like the radio. So it's almost like I'm a fan of everybody because I'm a student to it right now. Yeah. So honestly, like, anybody. Yeah. Anybody. But anybody I haven't worked with, it would be cool. Like, I'm going to be delusional. It would be cool if, like, Doechii, like, saw my Ethos ad and was like, girl, you should do a music video for me. Like, that would be insane. That would be a little crazy. I would love to work with the people that I said I was inspired by, like Naomi Sharon. She's really active with her fans, and so I'm always so eager to, like, just reach out to her. She has OVO, so she's going to be like, girl, it's your little agency. But for sure, like, honestly, I'm just like, I have no specifics. I'm just so, like, I'm just taking it all in. And everybody's so different that everything just sounds really good right now. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Well, if you do get that Doechii call, just make sure you hit us up.
Hey, right on target. I'm gonna be like, hey, look,
I just want to watch. You know, I don't have to be in the video or nothing.
I got you.
I mean, we got a playlist we put out every week. I picked one of her songs a couple weeks ago, man.
Her album was
Phenomenal.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was so good, and she was being very vulnerable.
Yep.
There
Very
you go.
vulnerable.
Very
So,
How does an artist go about approaching you or working with Ethos? What's the process?
so I always call it like a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 thing. I never want to make an artist feel like they have to try out or that they like. Of course, it's a business, and we have like our meetings and consultations and things like that. But they honestly could just reach out to us. Is that what you're asking? Like how they can reach out to us, or how do they go about approaching us? Like just how do they go about putting themselves out there?
Just how they go about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I always enjoy like a DM. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I find not my personal DM, but the Ethos one. Hold on. Hold on.
I found the page.
No, I find a Ethos DM really cool because I know how terrifying it is to reach out to somebody. It is so terrifying. Like when I was reaching out to y'all, I was like, oh my God, like what do I type? Because you're putting yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? So when I have an artist that's like, hey, Ethos, my name is so-and-so. These are all these links that they send me. Like I go and I listen to every single link. You know what I'm saying? And then I say to them, like, I'll send them a voice message. And I'm like, bro, like, thank you for reaching out. Like, this was so cool. Like, good on you for doing that. So I'm going to send you the info. Like, I'm going to send you and then they book a consultation. So it's just that comfortability of like, that was really cool of you. Like, let's talk. Because when they come into that consultation, I don't want them to feel like they need to pitch themselves because they're going to say something that I want to hear. I want them to come in and be like, I am struggling in this area, and this is what I need, and this is what I'm going through right now, and blah, blah, blah. And that way I can be like, okay, this is how I can best help you. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Seems very approachable.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Aside from this launch that you're doing, what's next for Ethos?
So DJ Didi we just signed her about a month ago. So we are going through that process, and then we're working on some of our personal projects with Ethos. So we're really building off of Ethos now. So we're creating more ads now. We want to show kind of what we have going on as far as that. And then we are building our team too. So if you're creative and you're interested in working at an agency, let me know. But yeah, we're currently building our team, and we're really tightening up our formula. So that's one. And then we are going into, should I say it? Did you already say it? No, I'm not gonna say it. So we have a surprise. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not. He's like, why would
I was on the edge of my seat.
No. We definitely are. We have something for 2025 for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, this end of the year right now, we're just basically like rounding everything up and coming up with new content. But 2025 is gonna be like crazy. We're really excited about it. So that's why we were like launch right now, like launch party right now. So
Fourth quarter, then 2025, you take over.
2025, we're like, all right, we are here. Yeah. So yeah, we're excited.
I like it. We're excited for you for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, that's really kind of wraps up what we have for you.
Yay! I'm excited. Yay! Thanks for having me.
We got a lot of information. Like, really.
Huh? Oh, no sports questions.
Okay.
Listen,
I mean, we can ask you some sports questions.
Listen, if you want to talk about basketball, like we can talk about basketball.
Okay, listen.
Are you a Mavericks fan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We got a Lakers fan in here. So.
Lakers. So I have like 3 top teams, and I know you're not supposed to do that.
No, that's fine.
It's fine.
But like so you know I'm a storyteller, guys. Okay, vulnerability. And here's the thing: these guys have stories, and so then I like fall in love with their stories, and I become fans of them. I'm like a girly fan, right?
Yeah.
But I also watch like their plays. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, let them know. I be yelling at the TV like, "Come on, I'm locked in." Okay, so we have the LeBron storyline, so I got to be a Lakers fan this year because we have the LeBron Bronny storyline. It's a beautiful storyline. Like, come on. Then we have the Timberwolves and just lost a cat storyline, but he has Julius, right? Yeah. Julius now. So we have that. John Morant just came back. We have that. I mean, we have so many storylines. It's crazy. We have the comeback of the Mavs with Clay. So that means Draymond's gonna go nuts because he's gonna show Clay. Like, look, think about all these storylines, y'all.
Yeah.
So it's like a drama, and I'm just so into it. It is a drama.
That's crazy because like we were just talking about how your girl was saying like if she knew the storyline, she might.
Oh,
she
yeah,
might
It's
get more into
listen,
it.
tell her the storylines because that's what honestly when Billy and I first started dating, I was really into football because my dad was really into football, and I'm going, whatever, I guess I'll watch football. And he kept putting on basketball, and I was like, basketball is so like, oh my God. And he was like, no. Like he's like, if you know like what they be going through, you would love it. And so we started watching documentaries. So I would say get her on the sports
30
documentaries.
for 30s.
30
Oh,
for
yeah,
30s.
for
That's
sure.
what got me was the 30 for
Okay.
30s. And then after that, we started watching games, and I was like, oh, I'm locked in. And we started going to games and stuff. I'm like, oh, we're here. It's great. So
Who's your football team?
I mean, by default, it's the Cowboys. It's America's team.
yeah.
It's the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But I do like the 49ers too. I do like the 49ers.
Oh no.
That's-
He's
okay.
like, that's interesting. Hey, my sister.
Especially at the last week.
Yeah.
No,
I was
see,
talking
listen,
about
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But you know, my sister, she's a Packers fan,
Okay.
I think. So whenever they come down, is she a Packers fan? Is it Packers? I should know this. This is my sister that we're talking about. I should know this. She's gonna be like, really? But yeah, she's a Packers fan. I remember she goes to the rivals, and then I think my mom, she's a Cowboys fan, but my dad sometimes he enjoys like the Eagles and stuff like that. So. Yeah.
This is getting worse.
It's getting worse. But no, when the Eagles came down here, we went to that game and we were all, we were all in blue. So
That's good. As
it's
long
like everybody needs to be together in this.
Yeah,
So-
for that's what's up.
Yeah, I've been to a couple Cowboys games, and it's been horrible for me.
He's had bad experiences.
Let's see, I went to the Lions game this year, and we got destroyed. And then last season in the playoffs, I went to the Packers against the Packers, and we got whooped. And it's just,
like,
I'm just like, man.
and
I'm
then it's the fans. The
Yeah.
fans, they be in your face when you lose.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I went to the Eagles and the Cowboys game, like I said, and when we had won, which was like, I didn't even think we was going to win, we won. I remember we was going down the ramp, you know, the ramps that they make you go down, and we saw some Eagles fans, and we was like, where y'all going? Are y'all upset? What's going on? And like, we were passing all these Eagle fans, and we was going at it, but it was friendly, you know, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you lose, they be in your face.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like,
for
damn. Like, they be like, you suck at all this stuff. It's so bad. So,
That's cool though.
yeah.
Any Mavs games? Well, you said you went to some.
I went to the opener.
Oh, did you?
Had to go. I had to see. Yo, oh my God.
Wouldn't be crazy up
Oh.
close.
In
Oh, yeah.
person. I was like, oh my God. But, you know, Luka had him, though. So let's just,
Yeah.
Luka was on that ass, okay? He was on that ass. I was like, 7-1 for what? That's what I was thinking.
You think the Mavs running it back this season?
Hell yeah.
They're going back to the finals?
Absolutely. They got Klay Thompson. Like, he already beat a record first game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's Splash Bros. And he has a point to prove. And then Kyrie did 35 the other night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, oh, this is different. I feel like the only team that could possibly like come for them if they like tighten up the I don't know if it's defense or offense. I think it's offense. Timberwolves. I feel like Timberwolves could just smack them a little bit. They're gonna figure out. But for some reason, the Mavs they read them every time.
Yeah.
They like. And I think it's because Ant gets burnt out.
He was gas.
He be gassing himself
Yeah.
out, and that's how they get them.
Yeah.
I feel like what they do. I think it's Kyrie too. I feel like Kyrie be like, okay, if he's gonna be on me, I'm finna be running around this court back and forth, and he's gonna have to chase me around.
Yeah.
And so by that halftime, he's like gas, and then that's when Luka's like yoink yoink, Kyrie yoink yoink. I'm
And
like,
now Clay's there.
Clay's there, so I definitely think it's a back to back. I would like to see Boston again too, for sure.
God, you are killing me today.
Gotta see. No, I'm not a fan.
Oh,
No,
okay.
hell no, I'm not a fan. Fuck Boston.
Okay,
I am
cool,
not
cool.
a fan.
Okay.
But
Just had
I'm
to clear-
because Laker, like,
Yeah,
of course.
That's why I was like, oh, man.
Hell no. But I want to see Jason do it again for some reason. Not to beat us, but I just want to see him again. I don't know. I just feel like Jason he gotta drop his nuts or something. I just feel like he needs to prove a point, so he needs to go back. You know, I just feel like we need to smack them, but like, I just want to see those two one more time. I felt like we didn't get enough last time.
Yeah, definitely not.
What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
I was saying he didn't really get the shine he was supposed to get last.
What was that?
He was expected to get last year.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, Jaylen Brown got the Finals MVP. You know.
let's listen. Don't let me go down a. Hey, don't get me started on Jaylen Brown's lame ass. Like, do not get me started on Jaylen Brown's lame ass.
Hey, any Celtics you want to slander, I'm here for it.
No, he is so like he kills me every time because he tries to prove like I'm just the greatest basketball player ever, and I'm like, dude, you're like you're just like dreadfully boring, and you have to be like. I think if he was cool with it, it would make him cool. Mm-hmm. I think him trying to be like, look at me, I'm Mister, like I'm Jaylen. It's so like, ew, like it's like ew. And then the last finals, I'll never forget this. I was so annoyed. He was like. His coach was like, you can sit out now. Like, we pretty much blowing them out. And he was like, no, I'm staying on Luka. And I was like, this is so annoying. Like, he's so ill. Like, he's so ill to me. So, you know when did you see that thing he did with Stephen A?
Nah, what happened?
You know, Stephen A aired something out, or somebody had said to Stephen A, sources has said that Jaylen Brown wasn't marketable, which is very true. He is not. He's an L. Like, he's not marketable. And Stephen A reported on it. And this man gets on a 2-on-2 podcast and was like, if, we know each other on a personal level, like how far does your integrity and your morality go? He's Stephen A. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, he's Stephen A. He's going to report on it. And he was like, tell your source that they don't know what they're talking. I'm like, bro, get off this podcast and play basketball, bro. Yeah. So, yes. State your source t-shirt. And you don't think you're not marketable?
That's crazy.
Yo, he's just disgusting. But go ahead.
That's wild.
I hope that don't go viral. He's gonna be like, I hate her. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't give a fuck. He's going to.
Hey, he rap too. He might.
He don't rap. He don't rap.
He might want to work.
He don't rap. Stop it.
Pull
it up. Pull it up.
Drop a song with. He dropped a song with somebody.
He dropped a song.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
I gotta look it up now. He dropped a song with something. We talked about it on the pod too.
Nah,
it was as corny as it sounds.
It was Ferg. He dropped a song with
Ferg.
Yeah,
that's how Ferg.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in the video. Was there a video?
Yeah, there was a video too.
Yeah, he was in the video. I don't know why I know that because I'm not a fan of Jaylen Brown.
You were checking for it.
No, I was not checking for it. There's no fucking way. That shit had to come on the timeline and it just happened to pass my eyes. Like, but I want them. I do want them to come back, and I want Kyrie to beat them because Kyrie. I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. We all know what it is, but I just want him to just beat their ass.
It would be nice to see Kyrie get a ring over Boston too.
Over Boston.
Yeah, that would
but
be
then
nice.
you want LeBron to get a ring. Like, it's just a lot.
Do.
There's so many different storylines. You're like, oh, I want LeBron to get a ring. If we lose to the Lakers, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm cool with that. If we lose to the Lakers.
Are you cool with it, Justin?
No.
He's like, fuck the Lakers. I'm cool with that.
Look,
Either one to the finals, Lakers or the Mavs. Those are my two for the finals.
That's pretty much how I am.
Yeah.
I mean, if we go out in the playoffs and the Lakers go on, then I guess. Just because he supports the Mavs, so I'll be nice enough to be like, all right, bro. Let me hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah, hop on the bandwagon.
Wait, do you have the song?
No.
No.
I remember what it was Ferg.
He was like, oh, it's Ferg's song. That's what he was saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ferg's
Oh,
song.
and he was just on the video.
He was on the song too. He rapped.
He was rapping.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't want to hear this.
So he might approach Ethos and be like,
Listen,
Like,
I need a rebrand. I'm gonna be like, all you have to do is shut up. That's literally it. Just don't do an interview. Don't speak. Like, really, he could be like Devin Booker. Devin Booker, technically speaking, is boring. Technically, but because he's so cool, it just makes him look cool. Like, he just looks like a cool cat. But like, if Devin Booker was like, "Hi, I'm Devin," but we would be like, why are you talking like that? You're lame. Like, stop. You know what I mean? So I think that's the greatness of basketball. Kind of reminds me of music. It needs those storylines. Like, that's how you attach to, like, because everyone's talented in the NBA. And then when you see these music artists, they're all talented too. So it's like, what makes you different? These storylines. That's why I love the basketball. It's cool.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
I mean, music and basketball kind of go together.
They really do.
They got some
They go
rappers
hand
in
in
the
hand.
league.
Yeah.
What do you know about Damian Lillard?
Baby, Damien Louis. He's a rapper. Is he good?
Dame Dollar.
He's cool. I've never heard it.
On the list of basketball rappers, he's probably
At the top.
At least lyrically.
For real.
Nah, I don't.
I don't think I've tapped in.
For real, but talent wise, he's pretty talented. It's him. What's my boy name?
Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges. That's the one right there.
He
No.
makes great crash out music.
Yeah.
On the court.
I need to tap in. I haven't tapped into the music side of the basketball. Now I'm gonna go down a
You're
rabbit
not
hole.
missing much.
you're not
No,
Don't
for
go
sure.
down the rabbit hole.
I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Okay.
Lonzo too.
Yeah,
He used to.
No, he's still dropping.
Oh,
too.
he's still dropping.
Yeah, him and his brother. Yeah, he was.
Hey, he wasn't too
Lonzo was
bad.
decent.
He was
Yeah.
decent.
What I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
It's
No.
crazy.
I just know his crazy ass daddy.
Oh
That's it.
yeah.
I love that. I used to watch their
Ball in the family.
I love that fucking show.
I was watching that all the time, too.
I watched the whole
I'm a
thing.
huge Ball family fan. so.
He's all about the
Huge
ball.
ball
Fan.
Like and I was literally I asked him the other day, I said, do you like the way that he raises his sons? He was like, yes. Like he puts life into them. Like you are a star, you're the best, like let's get it. But then he's also like a father as well.
Yeah, he's
a little
really
hard
too.
on them, but like he puts a lot of life into them.
Yeah.
He was like, they're all gonna be in the NBA. People were like, y'all are crazy. And it was like the first son is number 2, the other son is number 1. I'm like, yo, like the middle child,
He
you
got
know,
2
what's
and a
up?
2.5 in the NBA.
2.5, big 2.5. Like Jello gonna get there.
He-
We gonna. Hey, he said I was gonna get you some bread. Okay, I didn't make no promises. So and is it what's the first son's name? Is it Lonzo?
Lonzo, yeah.
Lonzo.
He's
yeah.
back.
Yeah, he's back.
That was cool.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
back. They gave him the game ball. Like that was special. That was cool.
Yeah,
So.
definitely.
Yay! Thank y'all for having me.
No, we
Yeah.
definitely-
Well,
That's
before we
awesome.
wrap it up,
Sure.
why don't you drop your Instagram and stuff? Your
So
socials.
my Instagram is Amaelyah, my personal one, AMAELYAH, and then Ethos is ethos.creatives. So that's the Instagram. We don't have a TikTok. I have a TikTok. If y'all want to know, it's Yeldo. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have right now. We're working on our Twitter, but we really communicate via Instagram. I like Instagram because I like to see people's work. So,
Instagram is definitely good.
yeah.
Good
It's like a
place.
portfolio.
Yeah, basically.
So I enjoy going down my rabbit holes. So
And remind people about the launch.
we're having our E for Ethos launch. It is November 10th at 1204 Griffin Street West, Dallas, Texas, from 2 to 6. We will have live performances from Billy White, DJ DD, special guest Brian, and DJ Saucy D. With food trucks, drinks, free before 4, free drink before 4. After 4, it's $10. So be on time because I know y'all like to be late, fashionably late. So
We'll have all those links in our bio, or not in our bio, in our podcast description.
Yay.
We'll put the Eventbrite on there too. So
Awesome.
if y'all want to RSVP, just hit the description. You'll see.
Yay. I'm
We
excited.
appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much,
much.
guys.
Definitely
Yay.
been a blast.